We stuck to Lara's books. We did the whole of the summer school before the 11 plus, and all that was full of mock testing. And honestly, I don't regret it. We passed the Kent test, we passed the Medway test, we passed the Mayfield test with very good marks. We don't have problems of thinking we are on the benchmark. We're guaranteed to getting into any school. We joined Ant Learning when my daughter was about 5, just before she was 5. It was a recommendation by another parent because my daughter was late with speech, and the school seemed to be focusing on speech and not the education. So while all her friends were going home with books to read, she came home with pictures, motor skill, toys, and things of that sort. So a friend said, listen, if she talks eventually, she'll be expected to have the same level of education because they're not going to redo what her friends are doing at the moment. Why don't you take her to Lara? So we joined. We were not talking yet, but we learned to talk. Well, I mean, we learned to write. We could sing, and we learned through songs. And within about 2 terms of joining Lara, we started to speak. So by the time my daughter familiarized the words, she could do her numbers well, and we were consistent. We came every year. We had a couple of summers away, but in terms of the termly education, we were very consistent with it, and I don't regret it. I'm a working mother, so I work from 9 to 5. I often get home after 7. My child goes to after school club, and I found that the books that Ant Learning provided for us were just having the right content and just enough for her to go through the week. So we used Ant Learning books throughout. Most of the work, the first page is self-explanatory, or at least there are notes for parents to guide the child if she's struggling. We didn't have so much of a problem because we attended every week. So my child had the guidance at school. In fact, half the time I wanted to help, she would be like, no, Mom. Miss McDonough told me how to do that. Miss Agebi told me how to do that. I'm all right with it. For the other parents, I just want to let you know that sometimes when you speak to other mothers, it can feel like you're not doing enough. Yeah. But if you're consistent and you're doing the work that you're being given, it's okay. I have a lot of parents that I would meet at birthday parties that made me feel almost incompetent as a mother because they had 2 or 3 tutors. They were going to summer school every time. They seemed to be doing mock exams from year 4. We'd never done any. I'll come and say to Lara, listen, I think we're behind. And I really started panicking. And I can tell you, Lara, I don't think I've said this to you before. My daughter passed all the 3 exams, and those parents didn't. Now I realize that a lot of the advice we were given had a reason, even though when you're busy, I think for me it was more I was working overtime. Some of the meetings like this one I didn't attend. So everything to me was alien. But I don't regret having joined Ant Learning because it's everything that we did was Ant Learning. And my daughter passed very well. So yeah, I encourage everybody, just do your homework, keep on top of it, do ask questions. If you think your child is not passing the tests or the work in the book, do speak to the teachers. They are very helpful. But if you don't talk to them, they might not come to you because they have sometimes 6 or 7 children, and sometimes they don't know how the parents are going to react. So you might need to just be proactive. But it does work. It's worked for us.